in a beautiful Indonesian island, Bali. That's why I'm quite dark. And I live as a Japan International Cooperation Agency expert for climate change adaptation. Today I talk only one thing, my one project. But topic-wise, I talk three things, such as why it's important to identify issues, purpose, context, and variables for vulnerability, and how we did it, and what is the primary implication from that. Yeah, and then give a good brief background. This is very useful for my speech. Yeah, Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia is the largest and widest archipelago in the world, and my home Bali is rising in population and economy, so it is quite important for Indonesia. And Japan International Cooperation Agency (JICA) start capacity development project for climate change strategy last year in September. And there's one sub-project which is vulnerability assessment in Bali. And this project, sub-project is together with BMKG or BMKG, which is an Indonesian Met Office. By the way, JICA is Japanese USAID or USAID or GIZ or DFID, if you don't know. Okay, what is vulnerability? First two component is exposure and sensitivity. This make an impact. And this is a so-called hazard. So this is a traditional, maybe this more traditional security issue. Then you can add one more factor, one more component, such as adaptive capacity. This make a broad view of vulnerability. And this is usually the definition used by IPCC. But at the same time, this vulnerability is called outcome vulnerability because you need to assess what is the potential impact for the vulnerability. But some scholars said it's not necessary to identify outcome. Just context is enough to claim the vulnerability of people. So context including income, social network, gender, profession, such and such. And in either definition, if context is different, vulnerability changes. So this implies it is important to identify issue, context, purpose, system. Otherwise, vulnerability will change. So what we did is we made a 6 step to identify vulnerability. Yeah, and we use 4 different methods, such as literature review, stakeholder and policy assessment, statistical assessment, and farmer interviews. Yeah, okay, first step, we identify the range of issues. In this case, most important is climate change, if climate change is actually happening in Bali or not. There is a historical evidence as well as a forecasted evidence. As model implies that Bali climate might increase by 2 degrees within 50 years. So the red one is a forecasted model, and the silver line is observed temperatures. So you see the temperature might increase by 2% in 50 years. This is forecasted one, but I do not show, but there's also historical evidence too. And then to identify issue as well as identify and select the issue of concern, we review 10 policy reports, including midterm development plan, national adaptation plan, national climate change strategy reports, such and such. And there's a comment like that, something like develop drought early warning system is important in National Action Plan 2007, or it is important to study climate change in agriculture in climate change strategy report and National Action Plan. So overall, we found 23 adaptation measures in agriculture sector. This is the largest compared to other sector. I think second one, the water. Water, I think, had 20 adaptation measures within the policy report. So primarily, we think, agriculture. We look at other agriculture as well as water, but and then we did a stakeholder meeting, as well as selecting constant issue and identify purpose for the indicator. At the end, we make an indicator to develop vulnerability map. So we did a stakeholder meeting. One of the purpose of the meeting is to develop a sensitivity matrix. I show the picture here. And then in the matrix, we ask stakeholder to identify what is a potential risk or insecure condition, and what kind of disaster will create this insecure condition. So the scaling is if 0 is no impact on the exposure unit, if it's 3, most significant, then result, one of the results like this, and this shows there's 3 most significant, most vulnerable sector or unit, such as farmland, fishery, and water. And drought, heavy rain, and flood will affect those 3 exposure units. And I do not show, but after that we did a further assessment with policy report and discussion with local authorities, and then we decide to work on the paddy as a rice. Yeah. So still we define the third step, define the purpose of indicator. Then we try to define what the system we work for. This is a G2G project, government to government project. So it's not, it cannot be research for research. So we have to identify what the system we work for. Then after the discussion with local authority, we decide to work with Presidential Decree number 5, which is a paddy sustainability. This is a direct instruction from government, President of Indonesia. So this states that local authority has to coordinate, integrate by task function for the production of paddy rice to face extreme climate condition. And my counterpart is responsible to analyze, disseminate climate change for Minister of Agriculture and related agency. So it's a perfect system to work for. This is a, then at the same time, we try to find a system in terms of science. So there's a food security concept. Generally, food security concept has 3 sub-components, such as production, consumption, and distribution. And this is what Bali government is concerned as a self-sustainability. But Presidential Decree number 5 focus on this production. So although we look at the whole food security, our focus is more on the production. Then this is affected by number of issues such as climate change, pest outbreak, land use change, and production such and such. Then fifth step, define the harm in context. So we check the statistical assessment, how the production in paddy. The paddy land is decreased by 5%, and the non-paddy land increased by 2.5%. Then total harvest area decreased 7% and production increased 8%. I mean, paddy area is not the same as paddy land because in Bali, like Indonesia, there's no winter, so if you like, you can cultivate paddy 2 or 3 times a year. So if you do twice, it's double. That's why paddy harvest is twice or even more. Anyway, so at the moment, the production rate is catching up, right? 8% is more than 7%. So production is not decreasing. So paddy area decreasing, productivity increasing. So it's okay, but not sure about the future of the production. And there's already some sign for the reduction of production. Okay, then we check the soil suitability of paddy. This implies how climate and the soil is suitable for the paddy production in Bali. And from your side is left is between 1990 and 1999, and another one is this century. So within 20 years, you see that is yellow part is getting larger. Yellow part is area not suitable for paddy production. So this implies land suitability decreased by 20% in 20 years. So it might be production will not be suitable. Many parts of Bali may not be suitable for the paddy production in the future. Then identify select variable. We did primary field work with farmers. So red area is drying area. This area getting dry, and blue area getting wet. So when I interviewed this blue area, some farmer said, we already have enough water, so no problem. And the other guy said, we never fail rice for last 20 years. Yeah. Then red people said, one guy said, not enough water, only one harvesting a year. As I said, in Bali, it's normally 2 harvests a year or even more. Then some people said 20% become housing. And the other guy said, not enough water, so need to rotate rice and crop. So they cannot do rice anymore, rice crop. Then some other area, some people said 100% of farmer change from rice to plantation. But this area not because of the water, because of some other market opportunity for cacao, or land become more expensive. Yeah. Then other guy said, downstream does not have water, so change it to the cacao. So from this we can have some implication. Like if water actually affecting. But at the same time, water is not the only factor affecting. Yeah, other like cacao price and land price also affecting, and also also there is a different type of land use. Yeah, maybe traditional is a paddy, but some guys say paddy crop, or maybe some people change to crop. So we identify the selected variables. So particularly for land use change, there's 4 type of land use we identify. I'm not sure if you can read, but okay, as I said, like rice intensive SBAC. SBAC is it's a Balinese language. It's a farmers group producing paddy. So you can do paddy. Then it's like 100% paddy. Then some other land use is a paddy crop. So if you change from paddy crop, like 50% of rice will be reduced. And from paddy to like a plantation, like cocoa, there's no more rice. And the same, if you convert to farming land to housing, then you have no paddy production, right? Then we found like a water level, price of rice, price of crop, price of land, opportunity for new job, and then those things affecting to the land use change, and then there's an interaction between the factor how they change the land use. Yeah. So so far our work stopped up to here, but from this until now we found. So identify range of issue. We identify climate change, food security, development is important, and then identify and select issue of concern. Paddy water crop is important, but we focus more paddy. Then define purpose is initial vulnerability assessment for food security. System is presidential decree number 5. Then define the harm context, flood, drought, land use change. Then variable for the vulnerability assessment is water level, temperature, price, and policy. Sorry. But I should finish, yeah? So, yeah, I have some implication from that, but maybe I should skip. Yeah, I should skip. Yeah? Should I go? Yeah, should I go? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so from this, although I haven't finished vulnerability assessment, but this as a primary vulnerability assessment, I can have some primary findings as a development agency. So supporting food security issue, without international cooperation, domestic people can support themselves. For example, Balinese typically good at supporting each other for the paddy production, and also BMKG and other agencies have a climate field school to teach farmer how to understand the climate and how to identify the suitable crop for their new climate. But if there is not enough, then international cooperation agency like JICA or USAID come in. Then there are two issues they can support. So one is financial, another technical support. And technical support, what's that? For example, in Japan, they are good at making a dams, irrigation system, sewage, early warning system, and some farmers group social network. I mean, Japanese agriculture society corporation is the largest society in the world anyway. However, this is good. But however, this may not work, because, for example, maybe water is more about accessibility. Like even if you make irrigation, because of some social exclusion, you may not reach to the water. And some technology, Japanese technology, like early warning system, may be too expensive for developing country like Indonesia. So, okay, if adaptation technology, like if you implement some new crop from Japan to Indonesia, if taste is not good, maybe they won't accept, right? So, it has to attach the need. Yeah, and then this bucket relay. Japan is reducing population. So this is not suitable for Japan. It's too much labor work. But in Indonesia may work, because there is so much accessible labor. So, maybe situation in developing country and the developed country might be different. So offer has to match with need. So there's 3 things I talked today. Food security and climate change is happening. And I show 6 steps to identify the vulnerability. Then, as an implication, offer should be matched to the need. Thank you very much. Yeah.